Let your body settle now. Your shoulders. Notice how they have crept up toward your ears across the long day. They don't need to do that anymore. Let them drop. Just a small letting go. Your hands, wherever they are resting tonight. Feel the small warmth in the palms. You are not holding anything. Let the fingers go soft. Your jaw, you might be holding it tighter than you realize. Let it open just the smallest amount, just enough that the teeth are no longer touching. Your feet, still and heavy. The sheet already knows them. The warmth you have made under it is yours. The blanket itself, or the sheet, or the thin cotton cover, whatever is over you tonight. Its weight is gentle. You are already here. There is nowhere else you need to be. There is nothing you need to solve right now. Nothing to plan. Nothing to remember. Whatever did not get done today, it will keep. It will all still be there in the morning. Tonight there is only this. And as you breathe, the breath comes in slow and a little cool, and out even slower. You are on a small island in the Caribbean Sea, somewhere in the long, warm chain of green islands that catch the trade wind. The year is 1742. The afternoon rain has already passed. The fishing boats are all in for the night. The day's heat has lifted off the sand, and the air is full of the smell of salt and ripe mango. The village sits in a low curve where the land meets the sea. There are a dozen small houses, perhaps 15, built up on short wooden posts to let the air pass underneath. The walls are made of pale boards, weathered by the salt to the color of driftwood. The roofs are palm thatch, thick layers of dried palm leaves, woven tight, packed close. They are old roofs, and they are good roofs. They have heard 100 storms and have stayed. A narrow path of crushed white coral winds between the houses. The coral has been walked smooth by bare feet over many years. It is still a little warm from the sun, even now. In front of each house there is something small and useful. A wooden bench, a net hung to dry, a clay jar of cool water in the shade, a bowl of green limes on a low stool. Nothing is hurried here. Things are placed where they are needed, and they stay. The trade wind comes in from the sea, steady, mild, the same wind that has been moving across this water for 10,000 years. It does not gust. It simply keeps coming. Beyond the last house, the sand begins. The beach is a soft, pale arc, very wide, very gentle. The sand here is the color of old ivory, fine and clean, still holding the warmth of the long day. At the high water mark, a thin line of broken coral and small white shells, fragile things left by the morning tide. The fishing nets are spread along the upper part of the beach to dry. Long brown nets, made of twisted plant fiber, with small wooden floats and stone weights. They lie in soft mounds on the sand. The day's catch has already been taken to the smoking shed. The nets will be folded in the morning. 3 small boats rest higher up, well above the tide line. They are simple canoes, each one shaped from a single tree, hollowed and smoothed and tarred along the bottom. They have names, painted in faded letters near the bow. They do not need to be guarded. The sea will not take them tonight. Just let your eyes rest on the water. The little waves come in slowly, one after another, in no hurry to arrive. Behind the village, the coconut palms begin. They grow in long, ragged rows along the slope above the beach. The trunks are tall and slender and a little bent, leaning towards the sea the way all coconut palms eventually do. The leaves move very gently in the trade wind, and they make a sound that is almost like rain falling on a thatched roof, only softer and farther away. On the ground beneath them, a few dry husks, a few fallen nuts still in their thick green skins, a green lizard, very small, sleeping on the warm side of a stone. The lizard does not need anything from you. He is simply at rest. Past the palms, a mango tree leans over the path, heavy with fruit. A few ripe mangoes have fallen and lie in the grass, golden and sweet, and the air around them is thick with their honey scent. Beyond the mango, a sea grape tree, its big round leaves dark against the dimming sky. There is nothing here that needs your attention. The grove has been growing for longer than the village has stood. It will keep growing whether you watch it or not. Back in the village, behind one of the houses, a small fire is burning low. It is not a big fire. It is the kind of fire that has done its work for the day. The coals are red and quiet. A blackened pot sits on 3 stones at the edge inside, a soft yellow stew of taro and salt fish, still warm. A clay bowl of sliced mango on the bench. A halved coconut, its white meat curving inside the dark shell, beside a small wooden spoon. Above the fire, a low wooden frame holds 2 flat fish, smoked slowly all afternoon. Their skin is dark and crisp now. They will be wrapped in palm leaves and saved for tomorrow. The smell of the fire is the smell of dry palm wood and salt and a little wood smoke. The smell of the stew is gentle and warm. None of it is asking anything of you. The cook has gone to sit at the edge of the beach. The pot is just keeping its small heat, slowly, the way pots do when the work is done. Out beyond the beach, perhaps 100 steps from shore, the reef begins. You cannot see it well in the fading light, but you can hear it. A low, steady sound, the small white break of the waves over the coral, going on and on, the way it has gone on every night since long before any boat ever found this island. It is not a loud sound. It is the kind of sound that becomes part of the silence after a while, the way a clock becomes part of a quiet room. The trade wind is still moving across the bay. It is a little cooler now than it was at noon. It carries the faint salt smell of the reef and the warm green smell of the island, and somewhere far away, the sweetness of a frangipani flower opening in the dusk. There is nothing on the reef you need to know about tonight. The fish are all where they should be. The water keeps going in. The water keeps going out. The world here works without anyone telling it to. At the edge of the beach, where the sand gives way to a low shelf of dark rock, there are small pools. The tide has gone out and left them full of clear, warm water. Each pool is its own small world. In one, a tiny hermit crab is moving very slowly across the bottom, carrying a borrowed shell that is just a little too big for him. He does not seem to mind. In another, a few small fish, silver and almost see-through, turn together and then turn apart, with no particular destination. A small white shell rests at the bottom of a third pool, lit gently from above by the last of the sky. The pools are very still. The water in them is very clear. They will refill at the next high tide, and the next, and the next. No one is keeping count. You don't need to count either. You don't need to track anything tonight. The tide will come in and go out without your help. Now the sky is changing. The last of the daylight has slipped behind the western horizon, and the color overhead is going from a soft, pale blue to something deeper, the kind of blue that is almost black, but not quite. One bright star has appeared low over the water, then another, then, slowly, more. In a little while, there will be so many stars that the eye cannot hold them all. The Caribbean sky is generous that way. You will be able to see the long, pale river of the Milky Way, running across the dome of the night, broad and quiet and unhurried. A few clouds, soft and silver gray, move slowly across the stars. They are remnants of the afternoon rain. They will pass on through the night and be gone by morning. Somewhere out on the dark water, a pelican is settling on a rock. Somewhere closer, a small green frog has begun his single, peaceful evening call. And then another frog answers. And then another. The frogs do this every night. They have been doing it for a very long time. Inside one of the small wooden houses, a lamp is burning low. It is a simple lamp, a clay dish, a wick floating in coconut oil, a small steady flame. It throws a soft, warm light onto the pale boards of the wall and the woven palm leaves of the ceiling. The room is small. There is a low wooden chest in one corner, a folded cloth on top, a green calabash gourd, hollowed and dried, that holds the household's fresh water. Across the room, between two strong wooden posts, a hammock has been hung. It is made of soft white cotton, woven in a slow open pattern with long fringes at each end. The shape of it is like a slow smile. It is waiting, patiently, the way good hammocks always seem to wait. You let yourself down into it. The hammock takes your weight gently. The cotton is soft against your shoulders. The shape of it cradles you, holds you, lifts the small ache out of your back. Your body settles slowly, and the hammock sways once, just once, and then is still. The lamp flickers a little with each breath. In and out, in and out. The small flame is happy to keep going as long as it has oil. which is exactly long enough. Now everything on the island is quiet. The cooking fire has gone to embers. The boats are still on the sand. The fishing nets are folded into soft brown shapes along the upper beach. The cook has gone in. The lamp in the next house has been blown out. The path of white coral is empty in the moonlight. The frogs are still calling very softly. The reef is still breaking very slowly. The palms are still moving in the trade wind the way they always do. None of these things ask anything of you. They simply keep going. The island is held together by very small, very patient things tonight. You don't need to make tomorrow happen. Tomorrow will come without your help. The fishermen will go out at first light. The mangoes will keep ripening. The tide will come back in. None of that is your work tonight. Tonight your only work is this, to be here, in this small warm house, on this small green island in the long curve of the sea, 4,000 miles from anywhere you have ever been. To let the breath come in and go out. To let the body grow heavier in the hammock. The hammock is soft. The cotton is cool. The lamp is very small now and getting smaller, the flame thinking about going out. You can let it. The sea is around you. The stars are above you. The trade wind keeps moving very quietly across the dark, warm water. And sleep, when it comes the way the dusk came over the bay, slowly, in soft layers, without anyone needing to do anything at all. Sleep well.